Yo, it's your boy Cyrex, and welcome to the Freak Show. We are looking at episode 20 right now, and of course I got my homeboy JaniWoooo right here. Say what's up to the people, yo.
What's good? So what are we going to get into tonight?
Yo, for starters, I just wanted to update y'all one more time. Free Rex coming soon. Free Rex coming soon. Free Rex coming soon. Again, I ain't got no date, but it's coming soon. So keep a lookout for it. Keep listening to them songs. Keep on freak rocking. Keep tuning your radios to FM. Keep being good as fuck. Keep chilling and stunting. Keep doing all that shit. You feel me? And new music coming soon. Alright. So, this is a discussion that I wanted to have. This is a discussion that I really wanted to have. So, and shout out to BB Candace. BB Candace is one of my buddies from Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, we started following each other on mutual love for hip hop. So shout out to BB Candace. She a big fan of Big Brother. Y'all need to follow her on the Twitter. And she woke too. Yeah. So, this is what we gonna get into. Let's talk a little bit about voice in hip hop. Let's talk about what rappers' voices affect, how their voices affect their craft, and what happens with their career and all that kind of stuff. You feel me? So, who's the easiest one to start with? Like, for example, let's start with Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
So Kendrick Lamar, we know him. He's a very versatile rapper. He talks about all types of topics. Now, granted, on the last couple projects, it's been more of an uplifting and more of a religious and more of a relatable vibe. Now, on Section 80 and on, on Good Kid, Mad City, it was more of the street vibe and more of the, just stuff pertaining to his own life kind of vibe. But remember that he has a fairly high-pitched voice in his raps.
Yeah.
And just high-pitched voice in general. So, do you think that that's helped his career?
Having different pitches?
Just having the starting pitch that he has, regardless of how he's changed it.
Yeah. It'll probably make him more versatile. So, and he's always trying to, always trying to do the next thing, so.
Definitely, I agree with that. It feels like also that people gravitate to the higher voices. It feels like that. Like, people
really?
love Chris Brown.
Oh, really? I always thought people went for lower voices, deeper.
Yeah, you could say that maybe on the lead singer of Earth, Wind & Fire. But, what's the part we remember? Let this groove. I can't even do it. My voice too low for that. Let this groove get you to move. It's all right. That's in the high voice. Yeah. You feel me? But they love Jeremiah. They love The Weeknd.
Yeah.
The Weeknd got a high singing voice. He a straight. I don't even know if he fully a tenor. He might be And what about Pharrell?
Oh yeah, of course.
Pharrell been doing a falsetto his entire career as far as singing. I can only think of a couple times where he hasn't really been that high pitch. He might stick to can I have it like that? You got it like that kind of thing. But that's it, really.
Yeah, okay.
So, look at Drake too. Drake, he's taking his voice in, half of his career is singing.
So he's always going with the high voice.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely. What's it called? Hotline Bling. Hotline Bling was a prime example of that, and so was Fake Love.
Okay, yeah. I see. Yeah, they're all in the same category.
Definitely. And, a couple people have been kind of pointing this out, too. Like, ever since, as far as like the beef with him and Meek, people talk about, yeah, I mean, and I agree too that Drake won the beef as far as songs, but he also like put a star, like he put an asterisk on Drake's whole career. Like, Drake cannot call himself the best lyricist anymore.
Oh, of course, yeah, because now we know that he doesn't write it.
I mean, certain stuff out there, we can pick out his style. We can pick out like what's really him and like what's like
someone else did.
Exactly, like the what's it called? There were reference tracks to Know Yourself and to 10 Bands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and to Rico too. That's how Rico's the one how it came out.
Yeah, that's what started it all.
Yeah. And the whole thing with that was that Meek was just mad that he didn't tweet his album. Like,
yeah, you didn't.
Did you peep the
shout
episode
him
I
out.
talked about? He got an academics for that too.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people getting academics.
Yo, a lot of mad people getting academics.
It was Vic Mensa.
Yeah, but see, Meek, the reason Meek got academics, this is what happened. He's basically talking about an interview, and it's a couple interviews too, where he's talking about, you know, all these people that we give voices to, they don't really know the code, they don't really speak for our culture. And I'm like, oh, okay, what did these people do to exploit our culture?
Yeah.
I'm like legitimately curious. I'm like, whoa, thank you for bringing that to my attention, Meek.
Yeah.
I have to know this. And then he goes into like this whole kind of narcissistic thing where it's like, you know, my album came out and like these guys like DJ Academics who y'all give like a serious voice to ain't talking about it. I'm like, nigga, are you serious? Again?
Yeah, that happened recently, yes.
Yeah. I'm like, again? First of all, he and Joe been talking about wins and losses.
Him to watch out, he's gonna pull up on him or something.
And Academics put out all the DMs too from the Dream Chaser camp.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he put out all the DMs. But like, yo, are you serious? Like, Meek Mill, I'm not gonna say that I'm a big fan of Meek Mill. I don't really know his songs like that.
Oh nah, I know his songs.
But Meek Mill's a star.
Yeah.
Meek Mill's a fucking star. Like, he does not need to worry about a blogger.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Academics essentially acknowledges himself as a blogger.
You never know. He probably could get, like promoting wise.
I suppose, but I mean,
you never know who Academics.
Remember,
knows.
he's a Philadelphia artist, so it's not like he's a Southern artist. Like,
I watched the videos on, but yeah, he started talking about his follower wise, but I still think you never know who he knows. I
suppose, but remember that they were talking about. Do you watch Everyday Struggle?
Yeah.
They were talking about that album for weeks. They kept bringing it up.
They brought it up every once in a while.
Every couple days.
Yeah.
So it's like they made it clear that not only do they like Meek, neither of them. Well, I mean, Academics basically indicate, or I guess he appears to be like a fan of Meek. Joe Budden just seems to like Meek.
Yeah.
And Nadeska just seems to like Meek.
Yeah.
And they all indicated that they were gonna listen to that shit. They were all like, "Yo, this shit's coming on this date. Be prepared for that shit." So what's the issue?
That part I didn't see, so I don't know.
Like, this is more confusing than when Baby went on the Breakfast Club. Cause at least with the Baby shit, I don't know the videos where they were clowning him. When he came and talking about put some respect on my name, I'm like, damn, what did y'all do to him?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he been shady, but what?
I guess he finally caught on.
I don't know. But where were we on before? It was
Voices.
It was on Voices, and the videos they've been getting at ACK.
Oh yeah.
With Vic Mensa. Yo, the topic came up about Vic Mensa in a couple videos too. Like, apparently on the promotion run, Vic Mensa kept on bringing up Academics.
Oh, okay.
Kept on doing it. And do you watch Deezus and Mero?
No.
Yo, shout out to Deezus and Mero. They're like one of the realest late night shows of all time. And it's on Viceland too.
Okay.
Like, literally, you go on Viceland, you don't even have to be logged into shit watch the new episode. But otherwise, you have to be like, you know, every weeknight at 11, except Friday. But you know, they these Bronx cats, you feel me?
Okay.
They with it. But he went on, and every guest they give him a rainbow. They have a guest like every night, so every guest they give him a rainbow, and you can say, you can put whatever you want on the rainbow, across the rainbow, to say some shit. He said, "Fuck DJ Academics." So like, I mean, as far as the Warren Chirac, I don't endorse that channel, honestly, because that's the other channel. We were talking about Academics earlier. That's the other channel where how he like experienced a boom in his viewership.
Yes.
By reporting on all the gang shit. I never really cared for that channel personally, but I mean, you know, like, I makes a point like about, you got at him on the show, you know, you told him how you felt, and
it should be done with.
You don't even have to like him. It's just, remember that your album is coming out. So remember that what's more important than how you feel about DJ Academics is getting, you know, your thing out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just talking about DJ Academics is gonna keep making people think like, oh wow, he has a lot to say about this guy. Let's look and see what's going on here. That's just gonna give DJ Academics more shine. So, yeah, I think that was poor planning on his part. But it's whatever.
Yeah, I think he did more out of, like, he was mad, so he wasn't thinking.
I don't even know. Maybe he was just being petty. I don't know. But, like, I mean, Vic Mensa's really good, too.
Yeah.
He's really good. He don't need to be doing, like, random shit like that. And even Jay discouraged it. Because he is signed to Rock Nation.
Of course, yeah.
So that was some shit on that too. What was I gonna say? How you think J. Cole's voice has affected his career?
It wasn't really high before.
No, just in general though. Just where it is and what he does with it.
It's more soulful now, so it's like I like it more.
Okay.
It's a different genre, different vibe, basically.
Okay, so where would you say that For Your Eyes Only stands on his albums, in terms of, like, for you?
2.
Number 2. Okay, what's number 1?
Shit. Hold up. What was the I think it was was it his first? No, second.
Because remember, we do have the mixtape era.
Yeah, I'm not counting mixtape.
Okay.
That'd be. Then a lot of people have a lot of Cold World, duh.
Cold World is number 1?
Yeah.
Yo, y'all, I paid for Cold World. I bought Cold World at Target.
Yeah. That whole album's fire.
Cold World was good. Cold World was good. I fucked with it. Honestly, yeah, For Your Eyes Only is the first one since Cold World to really resonate with me.
Yeah. The other one was previously, what was it called?
2014 Forest Hills Drive.
Yeah, Forest. That was alright.
I had problems with that album.
Yeah, I know.
It was hard to get through.
You told me.
Yeah, like just like for the sake of y'all, because y'all may not know this shit. Like, I respect J. Cole all types, like every day, all day, but I felt like he really was showing his sexism on 2014 Forest Hills Drive. This whole nigga, why you acting like a hoe? Nigga, why you acting like a bitch? Like, really, dude? Like, you just have to. I understand you're trying to put yourself in the zone, but like, really showing, really coming at that perspective. Like, the worst thing you can be right now is acting like a stereotypical view that we have of a woman. Like, come on, you have a mother, dude. That's why I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Cause like, y'all niggas got mothers, y'all niggas got sisters, y'all niggas got aunties and shit. And you niggas gonna have daughters too. So, but, and then Born Sinner, like, there's a few good songs on it, but
yeah,
it's not memorable to me as an album.
Yeah, I forget about it every now and then.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I still every now and then listen to Cold World.
He dropped the album same day as Kanye, and which album's more remembered? Jesus.
Yeah.
And Jesus wasn't even all that.
Yeah, it wasn't. Now you think about it.
I be going back to College Dropout more often than I go back to Yeezus.
Yeah, of course. All the old classics, for sure.
But see, Kanye is another example. Kanye got like a mid-range voice.
Oh, for sure, his vocals have definitely changed up drastically.
But like his whole career, though, people have just flocked to him.
Yes.
Like ever since he came out, he's been at least whoever he was appealing to at the time, he was really appealing to.
Yeah. That error, that short little error.
No, the whole time. I'm talking about like.
Well, his whole career.
Yeah, consider College Dropout. He was that guy through the wire, but then he came back with Jesus Walks, and he had new workout plans too. Yeah. And he's got his mid-range voice, so he can work it out, work it out, and he's riding like that. So, I feel like that really served. I feel like that really worked well for him. Mm-hmm. And then he comes back with the Late Registration, like talking about Touch the Sky, talking about Gold Diggers.
Of course, yeah.
Yo, and like I'm telling you,
and those were popping for a minute.
Yo, that's a voice. That's like one of those voices. It's not like a rugged voice, but remember that he also he came in serving the backpacker crowd.
Yeah. Whatever
that is. But that really definitely did work for him.
Was that when he was rocking the backpacks too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, when he was dressed like a family member.
Yeah.
Man, everything basic to Ye Guevara.
Hey, those were expensive bags.
They looked expensive.
They were Louis Vuitton.
Yo. And he was dressed like a family member. He was dressed like a damn Huxtable.
Yeah.
But even from that era into the singing era, into the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne, Blueprint 3 era, also, into the Yeezus and beyond. Like, his mid-range voice mixed with his charisma definitely has helped a lot. And Jay got a high voice even to this day, or a mid-range voice, an upper mid-range voice even to this day, yo, ever since like from standing on the corners bopping, dropping some of the hottest cars New York has ever seen, dropping some of the hottest verses rappers ever heard. Mm-hmm. Yo, fucking since Hard Knock Life, even before that, I think of course you hear it the most like when he was young. Like I don't know if you ever heard.
It's definitely.
What's the oldest Jay-Z song you know?
Hard Knock Life.
Word. Peep his first album, Reasonable Doubt. He dropped that shit when he was 25. Mm-hmm. And that was in '96, yo. So okay. you were like what? But a year old.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You're in some change.
Yeah.
That's crazy, yo. I got into this shit when I was 15. I got into that album when I was 15, and it came out when I was 3.
Yeah, he was rapping before we were even born.
Yeah. But I mean, he our mama age too.
Yeah, for sure.
My mama's the same. Okay, well, I didn't share that with y'all. Don't go looking up Jay-Z age and then run to my mom talking about he told him how old you are. Like, nah, it ain't like that. Chill with that. But you feel me? A mid-range thing. That mid-range thing definitely be working for people.
Yeah, it's basically it's better to just keep it safe.
But see, what if you ain't got that voice? Then what do you do?
You have to find it.
Yeah, because think Sheik Luch don't got that voice. Beanie Siegel don't got that voice. Cameron don't got that really. I mean, Joel Santana kind of do, but Jim Jones came through with the "We Fly," the "Ooh-la," like low ass voice.
Yeah, and then
he pops, but like he got them pop hits. The thing is that Jim got like his songs are a little confusing.
What do you mean?
Because he got bars. But it feels like that's all he got. Like when he be making like songs, it's like, for me, it's a hit or miss. Like, I fucks with Certified Gangsters.
Oh, really?
But, like... Remember, Pop Champagne?
Okay.
Pop Champagne, that's technically him and Ron Browse. The guy singing, he produced... That's the funny thing, too. The guy singing, Ron Browse, he produced Ether.
I like the remix Pop Champagne.
Who on the remix?
Lil Wayne.
Okay. The original is Jim Jones and Ron Browse.
I think I remember
them together with Joel Santana. A lot of
people in it. Yeah, it had all. Lil Wayne was on it.
Yo, I miss remixes.
Yeah, there's not a lot anymore.
I miss. Remember when remixes had added 3 or 4 people?
Yeah, that all your favorites.
Yo, what was the first? Well, I'm not even first. Give me a remix.
Shit. I don't even know. What remix was hot?
There was the Hot Nigga remix. That shit added mad people. Yeah. That shit added Rick Ross, I think was on it. Jada Kiss was on it.
I think, what was the name with T-Pain?
I'm in love with a stripper.
We in the hood. No, we in the hood.
Welcome to my hood.
Welcome to my hood.
Welcome to my
remix.
Hood. Oh shit!
It had everyone.
Yo.
That song was at least 10 minutes long.
Yo. I used to have that shit on repeat.
Yeah.
Yo, check it out, y'all.
Sure I did.
The original Welcome to My Hood is on We the Best Forever. Actually, they're both on We the Best Forever. That's the fourth. That's the 5th album. That's DJ Khaled's 5th album. And the original features T-Pain, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross. No, yeah, I'm right. T-Pain, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and Plies. And so it's basically the sequel to I'm So Hood, which also had a crazy remix. I'll talk about that after. But we're talking the 4 of them on the original, the remix, yo. First of all, it showed you from the beat and from the beginning. It's like, yo, we about to get fucking crazy. We about 10 more fucking people on this shit. Mm-hmm. So they had T-Pain. Yeah, first they had Ludacris come in.
Yeah,
Ludacris came and destroyed that shit. Then T-Pain had a verse. I'm like, wow, okay, this is one of those times T-Pain needed the verse. Then Busta Rhymes.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yo. Wait, hold up. Okay, never mind. I'm thinking about the wrong verse right now. I'm too lit, so music's not gonna flow right in my head right now. Wait. Never mind. It's not gonna come to me right now, so I'm not gonna try. Then we come in with Twista.
Yeah.
Yo, welcome to my hood. When is it? It's a faculty. What is trying to stop at me? See, I can't rap right now either. I can't retain this. Oh shit. Then Movado.
Yeah.
Movado. Welcome to the gully where we no take Movado. Yo, Movado was tight on that shit. Cause I didn't expect that shit.
Exactly.
Another singer.
And they switched up the.
And then, y'all, bear with me here. Right after Movado unexpectedly makes a dope ass appearance. DJ Khaled raps. Never slipping, I'm falling. Puff, keep on calling. I don't see none of you pussies. Fuck that shit you be talking. Yo,
yeah.
What's funny there is though that he used the same flow. He basically kind of he wrote based on the flow. He clearly, assuming he wrote his verse.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
He wrote based on the flow of Rick Ross's verse from the original. Yeah, and then.
Well, that would make sense.
Because he did it on All I Do Is Win too.
Did he really?
He did.
Damn.
But then Rick Ross came in with another verse on that one.
So it did sound different.
Mm-hmm. But then when you go back and it's like, wait a second. I just heard DJ Khaled rap and it was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But then after DJ Khaled's Baby comes in, real nigga number 1, hustle flying with my son, because that was when he and Lil Wayne were still tight.
Yeah, they're so tight.
But Baby doing the same thing. He talking about his Bugatti. Then Ace Hood.
You think you have more cars than that?
He got mad. I think that was the 19th Bugatti.
You think
I think he bought another Bugatti just to write a few more songs about it.
Yeah, I understand. A better Bugatti.
Cause when it comes to, and I did this when I had that one stand-up comedy routine that I did back in 2013. Yo, Birdman, when it comes to cars, when it comes to rapping about cars, he's the most descriptive rapper on the face of the earth. But when it comes to not talking about cars, it's like, what? Why even bring him on the song?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yo, but shout out to Birdman's car raps. Who came after Birdman? Ace Hood. And they punctuated his verse with the hustle hard shit too.
We haven't heard a lot from Ace Hood recently too.
You said you have been hearing a lot?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
At all. We have to talk about that another.
That's weird. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We'll put a pin in that one. We'll revisit this if not in this episode, then at another time. After Ace Hood,
that's another one we should talk about. We should talk about like at least the 2000 artists that fell off now. Than the upcoming new ones.
Yeah, true. Well, we don't want to insinuate that he fell off. Ace Hood is still relevant to, especially to Miami people or to South Floridians.
So we can at least talk about ones that aren't popping as they were before.
Rich boy selling crack.
Isn't he in jail?
I have no idea. That's the thing. I have no idea. Sorry, Rich boy. You're dope, but I don't know what happened. I didn't like you at first, but after Ace Hood came, Coke, Hard Rock, Stashed in the Body Shot. Oh, Fat Joe the Gangster. That was his original name. On his first album, he was Fat Joe the Gangster.
And then you just cut the Fat Joe.
Yeah, after that, every album after that. Which is not surprising to find Fat Joe on a DJ Khaled remix because Terror Squad.
Yeah.
Fat Joe's apparently either Fat Joe is DJ Khaled's daughter's godfather, or DJ Khaled is Fat Joe's daughter's godfather.
Okay.
It's one of those two. But yeah, the Terror Squad. Fat Joe's the leader.
Yeah, they're
Fat
all
Joe, put Big Pun on, and then Big Pun exceeded him, or exceeded him. Because Big Pun really took off more than he did.
Yeah, he did.
But then, R.I.P.
Of course.
And DJ Khaled, Cool and Dre, Remy Ma, Tony Sunshine, Armageddon, Prospect, Triple Seis, Cuban Link. Who's this Cuban Link? No te asustes. Domingo dropped the bun. I got the fuse there. Jimmy's. Yo. I hope I don't get flagged for just singing these songs.
You know how YouTube is now, so.
Yeah. Because I only got flagged because I had the actual audio. Because Liam played the actual audio.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah, she played that shit straight from SoundCloud or wherever she played her shit, Apple Music. But after Fat Joe came in with, he said what is it? Only way to break them bricks down is karate chop.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I remember that verse. I remember hearing a lot of these older verses, and they were hot back then.
Then Game comes in.
Oh,
Yo, is that black? Yo, and he came in with that. He came in with that old Game flow too. That shit was tight. Then Jada always tight.
Yeah, of course.
Every time I hear a Jada verse, I'm like, damn, that was that shit.
Haven't heard it in a while, but yeah.
We knocking packs off. They knocking sacks off. Medicaid, benefit, car, scratch up. He said, and they ain't selling crack. They selling coke and water. Yo. Them Yonkers cats, they know what it is. Shout out to Jada. Then Bun.
Okay.
Bun B, yo. Welcome to the land of the trill. And Bun B, I saw a video of him a couple days ago where he was talking about not fighting the younger generation, but embracing them, and embracing them to the point of working with them.
Okay, so help them.
Because remember, he appeared on Kodak's album.
Did he really?
Candy Paint, yeah. And I was like, when I saw that, because that was that day I told you I was listening to Kodak's album, the half that I got through. Bun B was on the first half. And when I listened to that song, I was like, okay. Don't get me wrong, Bun B bodied you, but this is good.
Yeah.
Kodak clearly shows that he has a respect for the elder statesman in hip hop,
Yeah.
and he has a respect for the culture that came before him. Did you see that video where he said, "I don't even listen to Uzi. That nigga dick in the booty. He confusing the community."
Nah, I've not listened to that, but that sounds funny. Was that recently?
That was very recent, like
Okay, yeah.
in the past couple days.
Okay, yeah. I was supposed to watch that.
Yeah, and
So that's what he said.
he said. I don't even listen to Yachty. Something about a Bugatti or something like. I don't know, but when they asked him about Uzi and Yachty, like he basically freestyled back at them.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said NBA Youngboy cool, but he's like, I ain't worried about nobody unless they from 1800 block.
Alright, I feel you.
I mean, I guess, but there's an outside world that you're trying to reach, you feel me?
Yeah.
Funny thing about Kodak is...
But he's like another rapper for sure, though, so he's like competition.
Oh, yeah, totally. No, you're always at competition with your fellow rappers. Like, that night that we did the second double XL discussion,
Mm-hmm.
we were at Simon's house, and we ended up going out, we ended up at the beach, and I told Simon, like, okay, well, make sure you're good, because you're carrying precious cargo, you're carrying the best hip-hop artist of all time. And he said himself.
Okay.
And I was like, no, dog, I mean me. Nigga, what? And so that was like a little brief, like, 10-second little back and forth.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I mean, obviously that's good. You clearly care if you're gonna define yourself as the best. But like on the real, I rap circles around that nigga. I don't really like crush all these niggas. Like, there's no doubt about that. I crush all these niggas. Crush.
He doesn't even record.
Huh?
He doesn't even record.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
They know I'm a rapper.
Alright.
Like,
It's going on the podcast.
yeah.
Alright.
I haven't stopped recording. This is
Alright,
there have been no edits to this episode. Y'all know how I edit. If I need to edit, it's because there's long pauses, like just long amount of bullshit, and then I need to stop, go back, and then keep going. I am the best. Cyrex is the GOAT. Number one hip hop artist of all time. Mark it. Cyrex. Ain't no top 5, ain't no top 10, ain't no dialing. Cyrex, nigga. That's it. Before I get distracted, the last verse on that shit is Waka Flocka.
Oh, of course.
I hated his verse at first, but I also hated everything he did at first.
Yeah, it grew on me.
Yep, definitely. You know what, Waka? I gotta give you a shout out. I doubted you for a while, but I realized your place in hip hop, and then you decided, you know what? It appears that you decided, you know what? Writing good bars is fun. 'Cause it is.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Like, when I came through with I lead the coup d'etat because you ain't I the shit need fewer guys and some of you weak niggas need to be euthanized. Yo, I was like, and mind you, we were shopping for Angie's birthday cake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. And I was like, okay, if we're going to be walking around and they're just going to kind of fuck around and I'm just going to kind of be in here kind of high, kind of nothing, I might as well write.
Yeah.
And I wrote that third verse, and the rhyme schemes in that third verse are some of the best rhyme schemes of all time. That is a definitive statement. So, like, if y'all get mad at me now, like, oh, he been that docile, like, nigga just talking all these episodes, and now he come out wildin'. Nah, I've been this nigga the whole time, y'all. You feel me? Can you attest to that?
Yeah.
My nigga, from my homie mouth right here. I'm just saying, Cyrex, y'all. When Freerex come out, y'all gonna know. And for those listening in, I love you and I appreciate you. And hit that follow button to become part of that notification squad. Cause I talk wild, y'all. I talk mad wild. How far are we into this episode? We are 34 minutes in. We are doing fan-fucking-tastic. I do this for y'all. I mean, for myself too, but I do this for y'all too. You know, I fucks with y'all heavy. I love y'all. So if you listen to this freak show, just know that this is what we rocking with. But what's it called? Did you have any more remixes you wanted to talk about?
No, not really.
I I might hit a little bit more of this remix topic in a little bit. So I might have a word for our sponsors, from our sponsors. I'm sorry. I fudged up the joke like I have sponsors. Yeah, right. Not yet, yo. But hold it down, yo. I'm maybe a Patreon or something. We'll see. Holla. Hold me down. But for the time being, at the very least, because I am transitioning to another segment in just a moment, I do want to thank KJ JaniWoooo for being on the show. Give one more shout out to the people.
Oh, what's up? Thank you, bro. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, man. You're welcome back on the show anytime. You already know.
All right, man. Peace out.
All right, we'll be right back, yo.
Right.
Hey, guys. It's the dude from Freak Rock Radio. Yeah. It's the dude. And listen, do you guys ever feel bad as fuck? Like, bad as fuck, like in a bad way. Yeah, do you ever feel that? Yeah, sometimes I do. And you know what I do? When I'm feeling bad as fuck, I listen to Good as Fuck. And when I'm listening to Good as Fuck, like, I start saying my math is good as fuck, and it's not, but I keep believing it's good as fuck, and suddenly I'm good as fuck. So, when you're feeling bad as fuck, listen to Good as Fuck, and you'll be good as fuck, you guys. Yeah. Alright, guys, we're back. Now, let's expand. We were just talking about not only voice in hip hop, but also on remixes. Now, I want to go back to the remixes topic first. So, remixes truly have been a thing since honestly, since the golden age. I don't want to put a specific decade on it, but really, when they took off was in the 90s, and it was under the wing of Puff Daddy. So when Puff Daddy says we invented the remix as we've known it for so long, I mean, really, yeah, Bad Boy is responsible for it. Because consider the Flavor in Your Ear remix. It was a single by Craig Mack. They threw on Biggie and LL Cool J. And I think somebody else. I think Keith Murray was on it too, maybe. I guess I should check this. Alright, I'm checking this in real time. I only got the phone, and remember, I also am recording on the phone. So, Flavor in Ya remix. Okay. Oh, I see. So, it was Biggie and Cool J. It was Biggie and LL, but it was also Busta Rhymes and Rampage. Wow, so I think that was before they even formed the Flip Mode Squad. It's crazy, okay. Alright, and so yeah, that was one of the big ones. That was like the first big, like, or at least one of the first big, remixes. So we've gone on to have, like, y'all remember Touch It. Yeah, I'm just gonna mention like really big classic ones, especially ones that really, that I really fucked with too. So this remixes topic will be more from my own perspective, as far as I've dealt with remixes. A big one was Touch It. So Touch It is a song by Busta Rhymes. I'm sure we remember that. Touch it, bring it, babe, watch. Yeah, we remember that. It's produced by Swizz Beatz, and they sampled Technologic, I believe. Yeah, they sampled Technologic by Daft Punk. So, of course, Daft Punk, both members of Daft Punk, both Thomas and Guy Manuel are credited as songwriters. Now, interestingly enough, the um, the Wikipedia page even has Touch It Remix as one of the tabs on the mobile page. So that tells you all you need to know. Remember that on the remix, there's a few versions of it. So the first version, now, I mean, Busta was signed to Aftermath at the time, but he was also known for just being that kooky, very eclectic persona in hip hop. So I'm sure that he was down to work with whoever would make the song sound even better. So he had his own dope shit on the original. But then we have, um, in the first version, he comes in with DMX with like a much darker version. And they each do a verse and a half. So, first you got Busta, first you got, then you got DMX, then you got a half verse of DMX and then a half verse of Busta. So it's like get low X, turn it up, and then get low bus, turn it up. And this is the only version of the remix where there's no siren sound. This is the only remix where there's no siren sound. The original doesn't have the siren either, but he's, they're using the dark piano. They're using the dark piano riff. That really, crazy, like, Busta's coming mean, DMX is coming mean, that kind of thing. And I think it really helped for that. After that, he even says here a series of remixes. So the next remix version, he got with the queens of the game. So Rod Digga, he got with Rod Digga. Missy was really rocking it too at that time. But shout, Misty Classic. So also he had Mary J. Blige as her persona, Brooklyn. Oof, cars to zoom by. So yeah, in that remix, he does like 8 bars, but then he leaves the rest of the song to Mary J. Does a verse, she kicks a rap verse. Then Rod Digga kicks a rap verse. Oh, well, Rod Digga's a rapper though. Missy, does her usual thing. She come in like very, very sexual, like really touch it to like the literal level. But she got her style. But then there's a third version of the remix, and on that version, you have Lloyd Banks and Papoose, and then Busta comes in for yet another verse for this version. Busta was like, I'm prepared to write like what the fuck ever. Not even what the fuck ever. I'm prepared to just kick bars to this song. Like he fucked with that beat so much, and that beat had an impact. That was like one of the hottest singles at the time. I think the remixes really only got much play like in the in the hip hop sphere, if that's what they call it. But I know the original single definitely got lots of play, lots of radio play too. But damn, I wish I had a better gauge, because that was when I started really exploring like how the internet was with remixes. I wish I had a better gauge on how it was in real time. But you know how it is. Sometimes, like, when it comes to rap on that level, a lot of the fabric of that has always remained in the street kind of art. So we can't know. But let's see here. So Lloyd Banks and Papoose, and this was the first time I ever heard Papoose. I haven't even gotten to the first time I even heard the remixes. Because at first I wasn't really into this song. I felt like it was like too, like I felt like it was too club style for me. But I was like I was being like stubborn, so I actually gave it a chance. And then, what's it called? Then I heard the remix, but I'll get into that in just a second. So Lloyd Banks, I didn't even expect Lloyd Banks to be on a remix like this, but he was on it, and of course he came through with the fire. He came through with that fire. Who you know that got a flow and is sick? You tell me. And Papoose, that was the first time I heard Papoose, as I think I just mentioned. His verse was definitely something very special, and definitely that verse really resonated with me a lot throughout the years, and that was around the time I first started rapping too. So then you have like the version that contains all 6 of them. So these three remixes put into one, and that was the video version of the remix, where Busta comes in with that 8-bar from the Queens of the Game version, the part 2. Then Mary J. Blige does half her verse, the top half of her verse, and Rod Digga right after does the later half of her verse. And then they do the hook. Missy comes in, top half of her verse, and then Banks. What's it called? Bottom half of his verse, later half of his verse. And then after that, hook again, Papoose. They mixed it with Papoose. They did, check this shit out. Everybody has 16. He kicked lines 9 through 12. So basically the third quarter of his verse, the second get low, and then the second part of the second half, so the second quarter. So the first turn it up. If that doesn't make sense to y'all, then just go watch the video. So that basically made for a new feel, created a new feel for his verse. But this is from the perspective of somebody who listened to the full verse after hearing that. So I think I'm right though. I'm right. I have at least on some level. I have a point. At the very least, I have a point. Best case scenario, I'm right. No, I'm wilding. I'm just feeling a little wild right now. It's the sauce. It's definitely the sauce. But anyway, in this version, we hear this new verse, basically this new vibe that Papoose creates, and we hear DMX. It's not even the second half. It's the extra half that he got, because it was just him. It was for part 1 was a duet basically. So the extra part that he got is what they used. Now, after that, then you have the top half of Busta's verse from Remix Part 3. And they're also wearing different outfits during this, so they're covering the whole spectrum. They're basically like a little Power Rangers team, like a little Super Sentai team here. Because first you have Busta come in red, introduce the Queens of the Game. Then Mary, white. Then Rod Digga, pink. Missy, purple, Banks blue, Papoose with K Slay green, DMX black, and then Busta again with Spliff Star yellow. And mind you, Busta's also with he's with all like everybody. He has basically he has an outfit for every occasion here. He's basically the common writer of the group. So, but that was a dope remix. That was like I think that was the song that really made me appreciate a remix. And that was that song that really got me into that mentality of like enjoying a posse cut, enjoying like bringing different people, whether they be from the same crew or from a different crew, whatever, and seeing what they do together. I like that. I like that a lot. I enjoy that. If you're a rapper and you want to try your hand at that with me, I mean, come through, we'll work something out. I'm very eclectic and open-minded when it comes to the music, as I'm sure you know. But back to this, the remix is not over there, because that remix series, that was a serious ass statement. Because on top of that cut up remix, which was just for the video, to which they had paid tribute, by the way. I do want to say a rest in peace to Israel. I'm so sorry, I don't remember the last name, but I know his name is Israel, and I think they called him Iz, and he was Busta's bodyguard. And before the video was like made, he was. It seems that his life was taken from him at a fairly young age. So it has been quite some time, and I still do want to extend my condolences to Busta Rhymes. That's just shitty. But that was also paid tribute to in the video version. In the extended remix version, you have everybody's full verse. So you have Lloyd Banks, then DMX. Oh wait, I didn't even get to what sounds they use. They have that same Swizz Beats, he sampled Technologic and all, but in part 2 they also use the original beat. Am I right? Yeah, in part 2 they did, yeah. Or I could be entirely wrong. I don't know. I'm not going to stop the recording now to go check. So either I'm right or I'm wrong. Check the comments, or comment so that I have to check the comments to see if I'm wrong or right. Touch It Remix Part 2. Do they have the siren or not? I don't remember. So then you have in part 1 we already talked about the dark piano, and in part 3 that's when they have the siren for sure. So then in the video version there was like a little amalgamation of all that. They have the siren throughout. So Busta didn't have it in either of his verses, but they gave it to Mary for her half verse. They gave it to Rod Digga. They didn't give it to Missy, I don't think. No, they did. In the video they did. Only in the video did they. Yeah, because in the video they kind of just made it uniform. Because if you're listening to a long ass remix, then you actually care about what's going on. Versus if you're watching the video, you're just watching the video. You might be watching TRL or some shit. Around the time of that, that's pretty likely. And apparently TRL is coming back, but we'll see how that goes. That doesn't seem, I don't know. Anthony Fantano's video on that. That's not my topic to speak on. I wasn't into TRL like that. But anyway, in the Oh yeah, so the video. They gave it to Missy. In the video, they did give it to Missy. The siren. Then they gave the siren to Banks, which he already had in the part 3 anyway. And then he also, they also gave, Papoose. They hooked him up. They hooked him the fuck up. Because they gave him because he was sharing the verse with DMX, they gave him the evil piano during his Get Low part. And then they gave him the siren during his Turn It Up part. The siren was only during the Turn It Up. So they gave him both, y'all. And then DMX, he got the evil piano, but he never got the siren. They never put him with the siren. And they basically just wanted to showcase the different types of MCs that they had on that. Because they're all different types of MCs. The only ones that are maybe comparable, the only ones that you can really compare are like, maybe, yeah, you can compare Raw Digga and Missy. That, they get sexual, they're very open, and they own themselves for real. But their styles, just pure style, is pretty different. I mean, I'm pretty sure Missy's like from Virginia, right? She's like from Richmond, right? And Rod Digga's, I'm pretty sure she's from New York. And then you have Banks and you have Papoose. They have the they have the hardcore style. They're both considered hardcore hip hop artists. But they're also considered, those lyricists who are like, that's the lyrical hip hop. They're in that echelon. But, Banks from Queens versus Papoose, I believe he's from Brooklyn. I had to keep Brooklyn on track. Yeah, he's from Brooklyn. Yeah, definitely. So, oh yeah, long version. Start off with Banks with the siren. Then you go to X with the evil piano. Then X with his. They gave him the half verse too. They put the half verse, so they gave him all. Technically, he had the most material on the song. So you have X, his verse, that was just a verse, and then his additional half verse. But in the half verse, instead of going into Busta's second half verse, it goes into Mary J. Blige's full verse. Yo. And I'm not gonna comment on the sirens for the rest. I'm basically just giving you the song order now. After Mary J, they did. After Mary J. Blige was a surprise, y'all. They had Neo. I mean, it was like cool, like to experiment with like putting Neo because he was like a new artist at the time, but I don't know, he didn't fit. Like there was already so much going on, and it's like you guys rehearse something for months, and then they tell you, hey, several days before debut, we're gonna put this guy with you guys, fit him in there somehow, figure it out. It didn't work. Neo's dope. Neo is dope, but he didn't fit on that remix. But after him, he sang on it too. Like MJB at least rapped. That's a pure rap beat. I appreciate what he did, and I appreciate him trying, but nah, it didn't work. So after him, you have. But he did pay a little homage to Busta's verse in the original. Trying to like, the girl be trying to stick my dick in the mouth. Like, it's like he trying to stick my whoa. They trying to stick my whoa. But after him, they got Papoose. Papoose, his whole verse. And, Papoose' whole verse in its whole glory, I think is one of the most inspiring things. I think it's one of the most inspiring moments in hip-hop, period. And I'm probably going to say this in an episode of Walk With Me, just because this is the truth. Papoose' verse on the Touch It remix, Papoose' full-length verse, is one of the most inspiring, I guess, what's the right term for this? I guess public statement of intent. Let's say that. That was probably one of the most inspiring moments. No, that was one of the most inspiring moments in hip hop history. That's my word, y'all. On the real. And, go back and listen to that. Go back and dissect that verse. You're gonna fucking love it. That's one of the best verses of all time. Shout out to Papoose for that one. Then after him we have Rod Digga. Rod Digga kicks her verse. That shit was dope. I had this cat in art class back in 2006 when this shit came out. He wasn't feeling her verse. He thought she was whack. She was tight. Nah, go Rod Digga. Shout out to Rod Digga. And then Missy. I felt like the sequencing was a little weird because I will admit that after Papoose's verse, having Rod Digga and Missy's verses that were admittedly, like, they were good, but he was so much better that, like, going to both of them after, I feel like they should have probably put Rod Digga and then Papoose. And then, okay, that's right, Missy's here. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're moving at a good pace, but like Rod Digga, like, kind of, underperforming Papoose, and then Missy. I guess I just wasn't that huge on Missy's verse. By that time, I was just like, with Missy. I mean, she's timeless, but I'm not a big fan of the later stuff. But as far as after that comes Busta's full part 3 verse. So we finally hear Busta after all this. You see me, you love me, it's just let me got good. Man, got like my it's good. Yo, that was an epic verse. That was another one of those that Busta was like, yo, you see me here, I'm with Aftermath, I'm with one of the most elite crews in hip hop. They got 50. They got Eminem. It's ran by Dre. They got, well, no, by then they didn't have Rakim still, but still, like, they had 50. Eminem and Dre were like the Trinity for a couple years. They were considered a very serious Trinity in hip hop. Not unlike J Biggs and Dame. Not unlike Trinities in hip hop. De La Soul's too easy because they're a group. You get my point. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so that was a serious. Basically, I feel like Busta felt like he had something that could extend beyond its life, and I feel like he was absolutely right about that. Touch It was a powerful song in its original version, in all of its remix versions. There's even a remix, by the way, with Jay and Nas. Oh, and let's not forget the fact that at the BET Awards, I forgot which award, whether it was the awards or the hip hop awards, one of the BET Awards, they did the remix, and they did, I think, the video version, but X wasn't there. They had him performing like from a screen. You know, that was before the iPhone, so smartphones, like, technically smartphones were like the what's it called, the Sidekick and the T3 or whatever that shit was. I don't know, I didn't have any of it. I had around that time I had something called the Com 8910, and yeah, of course you don't know what that is. That's a flip phone. Y'all remember flip phones? Remember when remember that there were years during this very century in which people thought flip phones, people including me, thought flip phones were dope. We used to think flip phones were dope. I'm gonna get into that in just a moment. Matter of fact. I don't really talk about that, but still. But I'm gonna finish off the remixes in a minute. So, they brought Eminem out. He was out on stage too. He was rapping and everything. They brought Eminem out to the remix. This song, by the way, was released on Busta's only Aftermath album, The Big Bang, and it was obviously the largest single. It was a really, really popular song. It was a club joint. It was a lyrical joint. This was one of those, like, honestly, this was one of those wins for Busta. This is where Busta really fucking won. Because I'm gonna tell you guys why Busta won with Touch It. Touch It is timeless song. Every time you go back to Touch It, you're like, oh shit. You're gonna feel nostalgic about it. You're gonna start dancing. And then it's gonna say Touch It remix, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, I remember that. Or, oh shit, I never saw this. And so whenever you find Touch It, whenever Touch It touches your life, you're gonna experience all of that, because it was a club joint. It was a club joint that he turned into a joint for the hip hop heads. That is something really powerful. That not only did you shoot it into this audience, and they received it, because the original did play on the radio, but you turned it into something, whether or not the streets were fucking with, whether or not the hip hop heads were fucking with the original version. That's not something I know at this time, but I know for a fact that the remixes, that was another echelon, because that's something really beautiful too, because it, like, think of every song as an art project. Every song is an art project for an artist. Each recording artist, when they make a song, that's a project, whether or not they knock it out in 15 minutes or not. You know, however long it takes you to make a song, that's a project. That's a little project. That's a little painting of yours. That's a drawing of yours. That's an article that you wrote up. That's an essay that you wrote. That's something. That's something. You know what? I would say even a manifesto. That's something of yours. Something that you made. Something that I like. My songs are things that I made. So the fact that he was able to take something that he created, the fact that he and Swizz Beatz got together and were able to create, that Swizz Beatz was able to take something from take something that was created by Daft Punk and turn it into something along like with Busta Rhymes into this new song, and turn that not only into a club joint but into a lyrical joint that push the boundaries of the remix. Because remixes typically a remix will get like maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 parts, maybe 2 parts for the most part. They'll be like, there's gonna be like maybe there was this one artist that you guys there was like the official remix that you get like, hey, we got these industry guys that, or these guys that are just, they have nothing to do with your label, but your music kind of sort of sounds alike. Like when they okay, this is a terrible one. Like, no, I'm not gonna say that one. Maybe a remix that brought people who are outside of their echelons. See, it's harder for like, okay, you know what? Here's a different thing too. You know what, matter of fact, I'm gonna knock on that point first. Yeah, people who are they're in the same, I guess, stratosphere of music in general, in the fact that like it wouldn't be particularly far fetched. DMX is timeless. Lloyd Banks, Lloyd Banks is timeless. Maybe on a lesser scale, you know, he hasn't gotten quite as much shine. But DMX went fucking 9 times platinum, fucking 5 times platinum. How many times? I had like shitload of times platinum. Everybody knows, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Everybody knows that's how Rough Riders roll. Everybody knows. Everybody. Mary J. Blige, timeless. Busta Rhymes, timeless. Raw Digga, I'm sorry. Missy Elliott, timeless. Raw Digga, Papoose, a little bit less so, but extremely talented, and definitely they have their audiences. And for the people who know them, I'm sure every last person who knows Papoose is like, yo, Papoose is that shit. Like, if you just heard of him because, I don't care about Papoose because he's Remy's husband and I'm a Nicki Minaj fan and I don't like. If you're gonna be like that attitude, I doubt even Nicki has that attitude. Nicki is a student of the game. Nicki knows to show. She's beefing with Remy, but she knows to show respect to Papoose. She knows. But outside of that, that's not my shit. That's not shit I'm here to comment on. But just saying, this was something different. This was something powerful, and remember that the 2000s were the era of like 2000 to 08. This is also the segue that I'm going into, because I do want to know what you guys think of remixes, of these remixes of this style, of Bad Boys' role in that, of artists' role in that, of everything basically. Tell me how you felt about that kind of thing. Tell me how you felt about the murder remixes too. I'm going to revisit this remix topic. So I'm going to talk a little bit more next time about, or not next time, but in the future. Well, maybe next time, but for sure in the future, about I'm Real, Jennifer Lopez and Murder Inc. It was Murder Inc. remix, but Jennifer Lopez and Ja Rule. I'm going to talk about that one specifically because that's a big example. It's a hugely popular example of one that, when I play, I've only ever heard the remix I've only ever heard the original a couple times, but the original and the remix actually have different instrumentals. Like, they're essentially different songs. It's a true remix, like true blue, all the fucking way redone. So I'm going to talk about things like that. I'm going to talk about posse cuts for sure. Posse cuts are something that I'm huge on. So we are going to talk about that in a future episode. Once again, be sure to subscribe. But I'm going to keep going over here. So, DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled is an artist who he got the he turned things around a bit, because don't get me wrong, his formula, as far as literally he's the DJ, he basically plans out the song and he's the A&R, and he gathers the artists and they actually make the song. He tells them like what he wants, but he probably has minimal actual lyrical influence, as far as we would know, anyway. But, remember, I mean, as far as gathering artists and making a song, this is not exactly a new formula. This is something that's been done for starters. I mean, that was essentially the formula of, well, I mean, not exactly the formula, but remember that Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five were literally a DJ / producer with 5 MCs. You know, with Ness, with Cowboy, with Melly Mel, with Ness, Cowboy, Melly Mel. I put myself on the spot here. This is my own fault right now. I had it. I had Grand right there, and then I ended up at Grandparent. That was a little disheartening in the moment. Okay, so yeah, of course, Flash, Cowboy, Melly Mel, Ness, Mr. Ness, I'm sorry, Raheem, and Kid Creole. So that was basically the precursor to that, because they had a group of 5 of them. And so anybody could be on whatever, anybody in the group could be on whatever song. That's the kind of thing that carried over into NWA. You have 3 MCs. Well, actually 4 MCs, because despite the fact that, you know, Ren was of course writing for himself, but then you had Ice Cube writing for himself, for Eazy-E, and for Dr. Dre, and I'm sure Ren had some involvement in that, but, you know, it's basically known that as far as the majority of the writing for Eazy-E and Dr. Dre, it was Ice Cube. But you see on Straight Outta Compton, especially, that it's not exactly like each and every member is on every song. It's, you know, some songs are the main 3 lyricists, the main 3 vocalists, what's it called? Rather, yeah, the main 3 vocalists. So Easy, Ice, and Ren. But then certain songs are just MC Ren. Certain songs are just Ice Cube. Certain songs are, you know, Ren and Dre. Certain songs are Eazy-E alone. You know, Express Yourself is Dr. Dre. The album version is just Dr. Dre. Versus the video version features a couple bars from Ren and a couple bars from Cube. And then you had like one song that's, you know, that Arabian Prince appears on. He appeared on more, I believe, in the NWA and the Posse. And like I believe he was part of was he part of One Class Second Group? I think so. But, you know, it wasn't like every single member was on every song, and that's the kind of thing that also carried over into Wu-Tang too. With Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, for example. And I'm sure I'm skipping, mad groups. Hold up. I'm skipping mad groups. I know for a fact I am. Because I just went from NWA straight. I went from Grandmaster Flash Furious 5 to NWA. And right from there straight to Wu-Tang. I mean, I can't really comment on groups in between, but I mean, hey, I'm doing my best here. I'm going off what I know. So we know off of 36 Chambers, especially, that's the easiest one really to go off of because it was the first one because they had assembled the group. And I mean, they do have a fascinating history, really. I think you should read into them. If you don't know too much about the Wu-Tang Clan, you definitely should. One of the best, I mean, first of all, the most well-assembled hip-hop group of all time, and they revolutionized the game, truly. Think about how different hip-hop would be if not for them. And so, you have, say RZA's like the DJ bringing this all together, the same way that Dre and Yella were the DJs bringing it all together with all the instrumentals. You have RZA doing all the production except for Old Dirty did co-production on Mystery Chess Boxing, which he didn't actually. Oh no, he did the verse. He did that like epic verse, and then ain't nothing to fuck with. Method Man did a little co-production on there. So think about the fact that you have 9 members. Granted, for a lot of the production it was just 8, but like when Master Killer joined on, you have 9. And I mean, I don't know if you guys know the history of the Mystery of Chess Boxing, but it was like a whole. They were for that album especially. They were battling for bars. They were battling for spots on songs. So they would go in the studio, could only fit a couple of them at a time, and they had to battle for their spot. So that results in some of the most creative and definitely very quirky hip-hop of all time, but definitely solidified the hardcore hip-hop genre as well. So you have some of them only going in on a few songs. You have RZA. I'm gonna go as far as Clan in the front order. The RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, You Got, Ghostface Killer, The Method Man, Raekwon the Chef, The Master Killer. You have all 9 of them. So take this. You got Bring the Ruckus. You start off with Bring the Ruckus. You only bring in 4 members to actually rap. So RZA just comes in, just do the hook. Bring the motherfucking ruckus. And he just comes in with just the right amount of emphasis, right? He just comes in with that hook and just that vibe of being menacing, being destructive. Wu-Tang's gonna bring that motherfucking ruckus. Ghostface brings it. Raekwon brings it. Deck brings it. Jizza brings it. So then you have, you have Shame on a Nigga, where Old Dirty Bastard is the star. So they're playing off each other too. They're basically trying to mutually meet their goals. It's kind of like certain songs on the album where like it's really they're more of a collective. So it's like this song is really me featuring you. So like Shame on a Nigga is really, because Old Dirty Bastard does so much of the song, it's really Old Dirty featuring Method Ray. Method Red. Nah, that's my bad. Shout out to Redman though. And Clan in the Front is really a Jizza song. Wu-Tang 7 Chamber, that's a group song. You got everybody going in except for you and for Jamel. Can it be also said that's a Ray and Ghost. That's the first Ragu duet, at least that we know of. Because who knows what they started before they settled on what was on 36 Chambers. Mystery of Chess Box, and that's a group vibe too. And that was the one too where Master Killer and Killer Priest, I think it was Killer Priest. It was either, I believe it was Killer Priest. If I'm wrong, please do correct me. Was it Killer Priest, or was it Shyheim, or was it somebody else who was supposed to be on, like, competing for the last verse on that song? And apparently they was like it went all night. It went all night. They couldn't settle. Either they couldn't settle or nothing was happening. Either way, the pseudo competition went all night, and it eventually turned out that the competitor did fall asleep, which, I mean, all fucking night, so I can understand that. But then Master Killer remained awake and wrote his verse, and it became homicide's illegal and death is a penalty. Like, that's a fucking crazy ass verse. Crazy. I gotta hydrate, my voice over here getting hoarse. My voice over here getting hoarse. But shit, I need to probably kick a voice. Yo, honestly, I'm enticed. Honestly, I'm enticed by the way that you come at me, the way that you run at me, the way that you fuck with me, run with me. I told you, don't fuck with me unless it's in the other sense. Yo, I'm making other sense, but I'm trying to make other dollars and trying to make others holler. But I don't really feel the support all the time, and I don't really feel it. Contort all my rhymes and bend it and make some new rhyme schemes. Honestly, I'm a new rhyme team. Yo, I'm enough for a generation. Yo, I'm enough for some veneration. Man, I don't even know what I said, man. I don't even know what I bred, man. I don't even know if I went about it in the right way. I'm just saying, this a light way. This a fight way. This is a seemingly bright way, but I'm not trying to edge toward the light. Not trying to edge toward the price. I'm on the ice. Not really though, cause I ain't that shorty that you talking about. On you owe me. I don't owe you shit. The only person I owe anything to in this career is Kool Herc. The thanks of having appeared and having spun those records on that day and having made that crowd go that way. Cause this is what's really changed my life. This was grasped onto me all through my strife. This was brought me to where I am today. And with you I appear to play, but I trust that you know I'm not. I'm very serious. I appear delirious, but really I'm rhyming like I'm furious. Timing like I'm furious. I'm having you, making you curious to what I'm coming through with the pervious. Yeah, I'm impervious to what the fuck you say. Yo, here is where I sway. And now you follow me back, and now you rolling me neck, and now you yo. But this is where we coming back, so run it back. They said I should have been the running back. They said that years ago when I was trying to be sporty. Yo, it's 16 years till I reach 40. but it's more than 16 bars that I done kicked. So, shit, I'm gonna end my night with one of these lines that my mom picked. She planted them too. Holla. That's a little freestyle for y'all. So, that's a little exclusive too. That's a Free Rock exclusive. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna find that anywhere else. So that's one of those things that I will put a timestamp for. So that's gonna be there for you. And so, basically, just to streamline this whole topic here, what I'm talking about is they operated as a group and as solo artists at the same time. So it was that kind of vibe. It was like, yeah, on Protect Your Neck, they're all together as a group. On Mystery Chess Boxing, Seventh Chamber, they're all together as a group. But on, say Shame on a Nigga, they're as a group, but they're letting Old Dirty take charge there. On Clan of the Front, they just rock the whole thing. On Method Man, it's like they planned for him to be the first breakout star anyway, so it's like, of course he got to have his own thing on here. Can it be also simple? Raekwon Ghostface duet, plain and simple. That is so simple. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. You know, RZA has been more the producer than the rapper, but on this song, he kind of has like the real presence. He's like more of the RZA featuring Rebel INS and Method. And then on Tears, you have him go in and then Ghostface go in. And it's a different situation on different songs, but it's like they're kind of operating like they're collaborating with each other rather than just working as a group. Which, I mean, really, that's one of those aesthetics that's kind of different for if you're a singing group rather than a rapping group. Because when you're a rap group, you all have your separate identities. Or you might have a homogenized identity if you're made to be like a rap boy band. But either way, you're still just different rappers, and things are going to be different. Hopefully. They should be different. But, as far as what DJ Khaled did for that, we're talking about him bringing together, like, his first single. The first single from Listen, the album. Listen? Love that. Holla at Me. So we have DJ Khaled featuring Lil Wayne. But mind you, this is 2006. Lil Wayne, fresh off the Carter 2. Paul Wall, who basically leads the song, because he has the hook and everything. He has the hook, second verse and the hook. Fresh off the People's Champ. Fat Joe, fresh off All or Nothing. Rick Ross, about to drop Port of Miami. Pitbull, fresh off of Money Is Still a Major Issue, about to drop El Mariel, I believe. If it wasn't that year, it was the next year. But, I mean, Pitbull was, like, in the first major... and Smooth the Martian, and that's my nigga, but, like, he says that Pitbull was terrible as a gangster rapper. I don't know if I saw him so much as a gangster rapper as much as just a lyrical rapper. Honestly, I'm willing to open up that debate again, and, I like to bring him on the show and talk about that. But, like, I don't know. I felt like Pitbull was enjoyable back then. To me. If you enjoy Pitbull's pop, I mean, tell me. Tell me in the comment section what's your favorite Pitbull song. And so, that reminds me of some shit that my nigga Louis. Shout out to Louis. Shout out to Louis on this shit too. Cause, Louis, remember? I forgot who it was, but it was some shorty. It was some shorty on Panther Territory. On Panther Territory, FIU. one of us was like something about Shorty ain't really into good music. She listens to like Pitbull. Yo, that shit was hilarious. Yo, don't say your shooters Pitbull. Don't say your shooters at me, but that shit was funny. But don't say your shooters. I ain't got no guns, so I'm broke. You ain't got nothing you can take from me. Shit. I respect grind. I'm just not a fan. You already know. But I mean, 786, man, sets no limits. So if it turns out that Pitbull's actual area code, this would be a very interesting turn of events. If it turns out that Pitbull's actual area code is 786 rather than 305, that would be really interesting. I would really enjoy that a lot. That would make me happy, and that would put me on Pitbull's side entirely. That would win my undying that would mean that Pitbull won my undying support. If he turns out to be 786 sets no limits, that's it. I rock with him. Just like that. But anyway, back then that shit was a big fucking deal. Lil Wayne, Paul Wall, Fat Joe, Rick Ross, Pitbull. Rick Ross, like on an international scale, like at least, Fat Joe, people knew Fat Joe, and people were getting to know Pitbull, and they were just getting to know, I'd say they were getting really to know all of them. That was more of a hood singer. That was more for the streets. Listen really was for the streets, but then they had Grammy Family with Kanye West and Consequence, but that was more for the backpackers. We the best though. We taking over, because Akon was crossover. Akon could cross over like that. We had T.I., who T.I. was working at. T.I. is dope. What's it called? Rick Ross again. Fat Joe again. Birdman and Lil Wayne, and of course Akon doing the hook. Yo, and that was a big posse cut. That was big. That was more of a big rap joint, but it was still like a pop joint too, kinda. It popped. But then you have joints like, cause I'm out here grinding. But this is when DJ Khaled really, with his songs, because mind you, he was on his shit for 4 albums straight. First three albums. But then, it was like, I don't know what. Then and he had hits on all of them. He had different shit. He was like doing different vibes. It was more of like he was the A&R. He was like assembling a lot of artists to make songs and put those songs on an album, and that worked. He had his audience and he tours. He has his audience and he tours. So much respect to DJ Khaled. I would have DJ Khaled host my mixtape. Yo, so anybody who wants a DJ Khaled and Cyrex mixtape, put that in the comments. Say what's up in the comments. Tell me what you down for. Tell me who you want me to work with in the comments. Tell me who you want me to do a song with. Matter of fact. But check it out. All I Do Is Win was that real pop crossover shit, because it had that anthemic shit. It had that anthemic vibe to it. All I do is win, no matter what. Yeah. And then we have T-Pain on the hook. T-Pain doing all that shit. T-Pain was crossover too. His accent is kind of hood as fuck, but it's kind of hood and kind of country as fuck at the same time. But still, he's very talented. I wasn't into his songs, but his hooks with other people, I was down with that. And the fact that they had him, and that it just became so anthemic. So then we had Welcome to My Hood, and I'm On One, because that's when Drake really started to pop. That was around the Take Care era. So DJ Khaled was essentially making what was Bad Boy's remix but on the original version. And Ludacris noted that a couple times, both on his appearance on the I'm So Hood remix and on the original version, when he was like, last time I was on the remix, now I'm on the original version of All I Do Is Win, interestingly enough. So that was a big thing. So as far as remixes, you know, that was like a serious, when people had the remix to look forward to, that was a big thing. I don't want to go too far into, because it's late and we're getting kind of long here. We're at an hour 40, and I want to talk a little bit about the One Blood remix, the It's Okay, One Blood. It's okay, I get it poppin'. You know Game. Game is that shit. Game is dope. Game is one of the gods of rap, on the real. And his song It's Okay, One Blood, which people just call One Blood, because I'm pretty sure they don't know that it's called It's Okay, but I'm pretty sure he also called it It's Okay because One Blood seems like, you know, too gangsta a title or too gory a title, maybe, I don't know. But it was like, that was a hugely popular song. And people were just with the whole Junior Reid vibe of it. He credited Junior Reid officially, but I'm still confused as to whether Junior Reid like re-performed his part on this song or whether it was just the sample and he's just crediting him, I guess, just to like, you know, as like homage, as like honor, as respect to the person who is responsible for the sample and thus the song, you know? I mean, I could see that because that's something that hip-hop does often. It's like how Otis, Otis came years after, but I guess Otis is like this, where they credited Otis Redding, but it's not like, you know, rest in peace, Otis Redding. Otis Redding was not with us to recreate or re-sing his parts. In fact, his parts are actually pitched down, so it actually doesn't even sound. The song is obviously It's obviously Try a Little Tenderness, chopped up, but it's chopped to the point where his voice is deeper. So, but One Blood is one of those, like, One Blood's remixes. That takes another time. That takes another episode. I want to give that one its due diligence. For the amount of times that I listened, the amount of times between 2006 and I would say 2010, maybe, that I listened to those remixes, that deserves another episode. So we'll talk about that in another episode. There's a couple things that I need to go back, listen to this, and put a pin in. But I'm glad we did this tonight because I've definitely I'd say this as a launch pad for a few discussions, and I also want to know your opinion too. If these discussions today have brought any questions to you, I would love for you to ask them in the comments section. If you have an opinion about anything, if you like this video, if you dislike this video. If you dislike this video, give me a dislike. Dislike the video. Show me that you dislike the video and tell me why. Because I'm not perfect. Shit. I'm just somebody. That's it, really. I'm just somebody. But I'm somebody who is a magnificent hip-hop artist, and somebody who loves the world, and somebody who loves this country, and somebody who loves life. Life is crazy, but I do love it. And I love all of you. And I thank you all for listening. I especially thank the people who make it to the very end of the episode. I don't want to call you the Enders because that seems like I'm biting Ender's Game or anything to that sort. So let's call you the last second. Let's call you the last second crew or last second squad. I don't know. Tell me if last second crew, last second squad, or whatever last second blank. Tell me whatever you'd rather use, and we'll call you that. Once again, I thank you so much thank you so much for participating, really, because just you listening in on the episode is you participating in the discussion. Once again, I do want to thank JaniWoooo for participating in the episode. I've been meaning to get him back on the show for a while, and I'm sure that we're gonna do some more episodes with him. That's my boy, so you already know what it is. And my name is Cyrex. I would love for you to follow me, CyrexMC, on just about every social media you can think of. Probably not every last one literally, but you already know. And catch me on the next ride. This is the Freak Show episode 20. If you love this show, subscribe. Thank you so much for listening.